Welcome back, my name is LastKnownMeal and today we're going to talk about Cyberpunk 2077 and Nvidia GeForce NOW. So yesterday we got the news that Cyberpunk 2077 will arrive on this new streaming service on release. This also means great news for everyone who wants to play this game but doesn't have a good PC to do it. Through this you can play it if you have a decent internet. This also means that the game is going to stream with RTX on because Nvidia is running that on their servers and machines, so they can provide you that because it's not your PC that is pushing it. Now there is one thing though, so far GOG is not compatible with Nvidia GeForce NOW. Hopefully that's going to be added before Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, because the only way for you to stream Cyberpunk on GeForce NOW is through Steam or if you bought the game through Epic Store. Right now GOG is not available. Now I also reached out to see what is going on with The Witcher, because for example you can play The Witcher games over Steam and over GeForce NOW on your PC and Mac, but you cannot actually stream The Witcher 3 if you download the app on your Android device, and a lot of people were asking why. It's not limited by CD Projekt Red, it's not actually denied by CD Projekt Red. Right now Nvidia wants to ensure that everything works on Android, and that's why some games right now are not available there, but they might potentially be available in the future. So technically, today, only Steam version and the Epic Store version of Cyberpunk could be available on GeForce NOW. But look, September is still far away, and hopefully they roll it out as well, because a lot of people will be buying that game through GOG, so hopefully they sort it out. This is also a nice chance to review GeForce NOW, because I have been testing it for a couple of days, and it's really an exciting technology. So Nvidia GeForce NOW is a streaming service where you can stream the games you already own on Steam or other compatible platforms. The service allows you to stream the game to your Mac, PC, Nvidia Shield, and Android. The service has two memberships: a free membership that gives you a standard access and 1 hour session length. Then there is the Founders Edition that is a limited time offer. It gives you priority access to the service. That means you actually avoid queues if there are any queues. And they give you an extended session length that goes up to 6 hours. After that runs out, the service will place you in the queue again if there is one, and you can resume the game. So it's not like a cooldown feature that much, more like to allow other people to play if there is a huge overload of servers and if there is a queue. But so far I haven't experienced anything like that. When you enter the service, you select what game you want to play. If it's available, it will launch a virtual machine in a sense, and it will take you to Steam. Sometimes you have to log in, you have to, if you have two-step verification, you also have to type that in, and then it will actually log you into Steam, and from there you can actually launch your game. If you have to install the game, no worries. It doesn't install on your PC, but on that virtual machine. And because those servers already have a version of that game in their system, it takes just a couple of seconds to finish download and launch the game. Now let's look at how it actually runs and looks like. Now the strongest feature you will need is the internet. It needs to be good. But don't only look at the speeds. You also have to think about packet loss, jitter, and ping. Now, I personally have a fiber internet with this speed, but when I was running the service, the packet loss for me was a problem. Not a huge problem, but still a problem. But again, that is the problem with my ISP, not Nvidia service. So my advice to you before buying the Founders Edition is to get the free version, test your network through the service, and see how the game is going to run for you. Nvidia does recommend 5 GHz network to actually run your games the best, because if you live in a crowded area and your Wi-Fi/LAN signal is having issues, it's good to troubleshoot that before actually paying for a service. Also get a Wi-Fi analyzer app on your phone and see if your signal is running into other Wi-Fi signals, which could include packet loss and jitter. But not every modem and router has a 5 GHz option, so if you can't switch, you have to stick with your 2.4 GHz, as it is same for me. I also talked to a few people and tested this service on other networks, and the results were actually very good, very decent. but I do live in Bosnia, so server problems could happen. And honestly, this entire service is still, at its beginning. So if you do have some server issues, maybe wait it out. They could update and patch it in the future. I'm guessing they're working on the network itself to ensure that the quality of service is good. So in some areas, this service could be a problem. For me, it was a bit of a problem, nothing too grand, but it was mostly due on my end and my internet service provider, not Nvidia itself. I also did test the network and how the game was running on my phone, and because of my Wi-Fi and my packet loss, I did have some input delay. And this input delay could be a problem for people, and if you're wondering how is input delay on PC, it's visible. Like if you've been playing multiplayer games, especially if you have the feel for just how quickly you turn, how quickly you shoot, how quickly you aim, there is definitely a slight difference on PC, but nothing to the point where it's going to annoy me or make me miss my shots too much. Because keep in mind, my internet and my ISP is bad, so on your end you might not experience none of these issues. Here is also how I run GeForce Now on my phone. I used my PlayStation 4 controller for that. If you want to connect, just hold the share and PlayStation button together, and when it starts flashing, find the controller in your Bluetooth devices, and that's it. On your PC, you can play with keyboard and mouse, so controller is not mandatory for that. I definitely think that GeForce Now is a good service for people who don't have a strong PC or travel a lot and want to play something cool from their library, but at the same time, we're still kinda like the entire world, at least majority of the world is still not ready for these streaming service because our internet is still not really up to date on all areas. But if you do have a chance to try it out and if you do have good internet, then I definitely recommend it as an option, because on the other side, Stadia charges you for a game. Meanwhile, Nvidia GeForce Now tells if you have a game that you already bought and you don't have to buy it again to stream it. But these are my thoughts and somewhat of a review of the service. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and as always, smash that like and subscribe button for more, and tell me down below what you think about this. Did you try it out? Tell me down below. Also join our growing community on Twitter and Discord. This is LKM signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.